During this segment, we're going to, well, I've already cleaned it out, but I'm going to just summarize what we're going to do. This oil gallery right here that goes from here, here's the oil gallery plugs. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and then you've got the oil sender. That oil gallery also goes down into each main bearing. It's that hole in the cap, and that is unfiltered oil. So that oil is not going through the filter. At least from here to the bearing, there's no filter. So you want to make very, very sure that's clean. I had a Spitfire that I rebuilt back in the 70s that I trashed a set of bearings, and I think it was because I didn't pay attention to, I didn't know to clean this oil gallery out. So that's what we're going to do today. If you like this video, if it's helpful, please subscribe and please like it, and please comment if you have some other comment on it. It encourages me to make more videos like this. Okay, we're going to clean out the oil galley holes here and here and from this end, and this end is still plugged with the aluminum. The machinist recommended that. So I bought these bore brushes from JB Tools. They're about $10, and I'll find the right size, and we'll go ahead and I need to make some sort of rod to attach to those so I can get in there and clean all that up. This is going. My machinist said, don't worry about the end here. That it's more trouble removing this aluminum and having it leak than the chance of having anything spill out of here. So just take some brake clean and spray through here to knock the stuff out of there. So that's what we're going to do. And I'll find the right size bore brush and fool with this and tell you what I figure out. Oh, and this bore brush is part 8080. And it has 8mm, 10, 12, 15, 17, and 19mm size brushes in it. My machinist said he cleaned out the oil galley. What we're going to do is take a boroscope and check and see how true that is. So let's go ahead and go in the galley, see what we got. Looks like a little rust there, but not bad. A little bit of casting slag, maybe casting right up in there. Still rust. I don't see anything horrible. Maybe some rust there on the left side. I'm a little concerned because my brushes are going to be kind of tight in there. So now I'm going to take a look at each of those main bearings and take a look down with the Borescope and see if there's any crud in each of those holes. I didn't find any significant, just a little bit, but it'll flush out with brake clean, I think. So I saw a little bit of crud in this one oil passage, and so I thought I'd try brushing it out. In my right hand is one of the stainless steel brushes. So I tried putting the brush down here. It just seems to create more fine particles than it solves. I'm going to spray out each of these oil galleys that connect from here through to here. And I'm pull the cap off each one. Taking a bucket and getting it there and the right hole. And I'm going to brake clean. And check that and see. Oh, it is coming out a little murky. It does have a little bit of a film to it. Okay. And put this cap back on. I'll take some, right now I'll take some of this, but I've got some lint free that I'm going to use later. This is just the first go around. So the bore brush I bought has this kind of end on it. So I drilled a hole in it, and I'm going to weld a piece of coat hanger that I had onto it in order to be able to reach it down into that bore. So the 10 millimeter is a little too small, but by putting a little bend in the rod, I can go ahead and get some. It increases the friction, and what I'm doing here is spinning it round and round. I don't want to put a drill motor on it because I don't trust that weld enough to not come out inside there, and then I'll have to deal with it. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this around a bunch of times while running it in there, in and out. I've already boroscoped it again, and most of what I'm seeing is in this area right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this a few more times and boroscope it again. Okay, it's all the way in. Spinning it, slowly pulling it out. I'm going to focus on that last 8 inches or so. Hopefully that weld holds. Otherwise I'm stuck with some interesting attempts to pull that out of there. I might have to pull the plug on the other side. If you pull the plug on the other side, it's not so much of a big deal. Again, I'm going to take and clean this out very thoroughly with soapy water, and then I'm going to take brake clean and spray it out a bunch and so on. So anyway, so I'm going to do this for maybe 2-3 minutes at a shot, and then boroscope it again and see what I've got. You could probably buy if you're not going to do it this way, you could buy a bore brush for gun cleaning, but I didn't know which size to buy, and since that set was fairly cheap as a set and the individuals were expensive, I didn't want to just start guessing, so I did this instead. Okay, out she comes. See my ugly weld. And that's a stainless steel brush. So now I'm going to take the boroscope. Okay, now you can see that's the plug at the end. See if I can get the camera to focus. It's not wanting to focus. So we'll pull it out slowly. That's a lot better than it was. There were nibs in there. And there are far fewer of them, so this is a worthwhile exercise. I'm not seeing the nibs again. Got to get it to focus on the top. Glare from the overhead lights. What's that? Up there's a little nib there. Can't push it back in. So I'm going to keep going. Do it again. I still got more nibs here and there. Okay, I've run it again for quite a while, and now I'm going to extract it, and we're going to check and see if we've got rid of those nubs. I've tried this a couple times, and those nubs keep moving as I do it. So I think those nubs may be, they may actually be loose in there. So I'm going to record it this way, document it this way, and then I'm going to blow it out with compressed air. Well, look at that, pretty clean now. Don't see hardly any nubs at all in there. There's a couple up at the top. So I'm going to take some compressed air and blow it out, and then try this again. Okay, so I want to see what actually got loosened up. So I wet a paper towel, and I'm going to stick that right there to catch any debris. And compressed air. I'll clean these out later, but nothing. But it's going through the galley, the oil plugs in the galley, through the mains. Not really a fair test. That didn't work. Okay, I discovered the secret. You reach around, and there's an oil galley hole right on that main cap right there. You just put your hand on there, and here I'll put a little of this in. Put that on there. Put your finger on that galley hole, and then I guess you can't really see it from there. But watch this. Now you can see it flow through here. I'm getting a good blow through there. Not seeing anything on here. Maybe there's one little metal piece right there. We'll let that dry, and I'll put the Borescope back in there. Okay, so there's the plug. There's that first galleyway where we blew it out, and it is now spotless. There's not a single piece of garbage in there. When we get to the second one, that one looks spotless. But we're seeing a swirl there. I wonder if that's still wet. There's a nub right up at the very top. I don't know if you can see that. And one on the right. So I'm not sure when I lost focus there. But you can see now there are no little nibs in there anymore. See how far out. Looks clean. I got a nib right there. I think I got some right there at the bottom. And one or two right there. So that was worthwhile. So the goal is to blow the debris one chamber at a time forward out. So I'm opening one hole at a time and spraying brake clean in there and blowing it out to blow the debris out and not just simply back into the chamber before. So hopefully this will work. You'll see actually later, I'm recording this later, it does work. Now I'm angling the brake clean tube into this hole in a way that it blows the brake clean stuff forward. Otherwise it will just blow it straight down out the main journal, out that hole that goes down into the journal. So I'm recording this later. This did work, so it's a good strategy. Okay, sprayed some more in there, and we're going to go ahead and try. I couldn't really reach in there and plug that second main, so I don't know what happened. We'll take a look. Let it dry. Let's see if it's wet in there. Looks dry. That's wet. I'm going to let that dry. I think I'm going to have to plug each of the. There's when this goes straight through down into the main, and there's the oil hole that goes into the main bearing is there, and so when you shoot air in there, it shoots right down into that main, and I think I'm going to have to plug that one off, plug each one off to do it this way. Still wet down in there. Looks like it blew some back that way. Yeah, I see a few nibs right down at the bottom there. See right there? I'm going to have to plug those off. Let's see what I can do about that. But I like this method. It's a lot cleaner than it was. Got both, the first two plugged. Okay. First one's immaculate. Second one is immaculate. I think there's some junk down at the bottom of that one on the third one. Now, see a couple right there, right at the very bottom of the screen, right at the bottom right hand corner of the screen here. Right there. So I think we're going to have to go. So how many we got? We got the first one's clean. Second one's clean. Well, maybe that's clean. Third one is clean. Fourth one there's a piece of crud down at the bottom right hand corner. And on the now at 3 o'clock. Okay, so the third one we still have crud in there. Look at all the crud right there. Look at all the crud on that one. I don't know what else to do. We'll try some tape on these holes. Because I can only get to the first. I can only do 2, one hand. Try doing this. Try that. Blow out the second one. No, it's still on there. Okay, number 1's clean. Number 2 looks clean. Number 3 looks clean. Number 4 looks clean. It's all that on the bottom there. I think it's okay. Number 5 has a right there at about 330. There's some crud. Some crud right there. There's crud right there. One is clear. 2 is clear. 3 is clear. 4 is clear. 5 is clear. 6 has crud in it. There's crud right in here. There's crud right there. Right. It's clean out. It's clean to here. It's clean right to there. You see it 1 o'clock. There's a couple of nibs at 1 o'clock. Other than that, it's clean. Wow, getting there. See where that is. That's right at this hole. It's right at this galley right here. And that's out. Nub at 10 o'clock. It's right where this aluminum plug is. That's that aluminum plug right there. Where'd it go? Might have grabbed it with the it might have pulled onto the boroscope there. I don't see any more nubs in there. So I'm going to take one final squirt. I'm going to open each of these and squirt down the main passage like this, and then to clean out those channels going into the main bearings, and then check it one last time and we'll be done. Oh, got it on that cut again. Ow. Yowza. Oh, that hurts. I think I've got it. So I'm really happy with that. We have a clean oil gallery. If you remember from the beginning of the video, it's really important for this to be clean because the oil going, there's no the filter's not between here and the cap and the main bearings. So this will trash a set of main bearings if you've got crud in there. And I learned something. If you see anything in there, it can come out, so take the time to brush it out. If this video is helpful to you, if you learned along with me in this, please subscribe to the video and like it, and subscribe to my channel. If this was helpful, please subscribe to this video. If this was helpful, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. If you have a comment or a question, please do that. I really enjoy hearing from you. It encourages me to keep making these videos, to spend the time, because I try to do things that are not in the manual, and this procedure wasn't in the manual. Hope it was helpful.